Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by green fields and whispering trees, lived a poor but kind boy named Shabo. In the same village lived a wealthy and powerful landlord, Bin Khalaf, a man known for his lands, his animals, and his pride. Shabo worked as his shepherd. Every morning, before the sun rose fully into the sky, Shabo led the goats to the open fields. The grass was fresh, and the goats trusted him completely. In his hand, he carried a long wooden stick. But this was not just any stick. It had once belonged to his father. Before his father passed away, he placed the stick in Shabo's hands and said nothing, yet everything was understood. It was a memory, a blessing, a responsibility. Shabo guarded it carefully because the stick was magical. With just one gentle wave, scattered goats would come running back together. If a wolf or wild animal came too close, one soft motion of the stick would send it fleeing into the forest. The goats grazed peacefully. Shabo sat calmly beneath the shade of a tree. There was balance. There was trust. He took good care of the goats. They grew strong, healthy, and fat. They gave plenty of milk. Their numbers increased quickly. Bin Khalaf was pleased. So pleased, in fact, that he planned to give Shabo even greater responsibility, the care of his sheep as well. But not everyone was happy. Another shepherd worked for Bin Khalaf. His name was Sino. Sino was lazy, careless. He worked only when forced, and as he watched Shabo earn praise and trust, jealousy began to burn inside him. He could not tolerate Shabo's success, so he waited for a chance to destroy it. Shabo worked from sunrise to sunset, yet his reward was only one small coin each day. Still, he never complained. He ate simple bread, he thanked God, and every night he slept with a peaceful heart. But one night, peace was stolen. While Shabo slept in his small hut, Sino crept inside silently, like a shadow. He took the magical stick, and in its place he left an identical one. Then he carried the real stick into the forest, broke it into sharp pieces, and buried them deep beneath the soil. Jealousy had done its work. The next morning, the sun rose as usual, but nothing else did. Shabo waved the stick. Nothing happened. The goats ran wildly in every direction. He chased them across fields and hills, calling, pleading, running until his legs trembled with exhaustion. By the time he returned to the village, it was late. Bin Khalaf was waiting. Sino stepped forward quickly. "Master, Shabo has returned." The goats were counted. Several were missing. Bin Khalaf's face burned with anger. "This is unforgivable. I trusted you blindly. Sino warned me about you." Shabo stood silently, his head lowered, his heart heavy. That night he was given no food, no water. He slept hungry and alone. At dawn, Bin Khalaf woke him harshly. "Until you bring back my missing goats, you will receive nothing, not a coin, not shelter. Leave." And just like that, Shabo was thrown out of the village. He walked without direction. His feet carried him toward a quiet pond outside the village. It was a full moon night. Silver light covered the water. Legends said that on such nights, fairies descended from their magical kingdom. And that night, the legends were true. From the sky came glowing figures, beautiful, radiant, graceful. A royal carriage stood beside the pond. A magnificent horse was tied nearby, peacefully grazing. Hidden behind a tree, Shabo watched in wonder. Then suddenly, the horse reared up in pain. Its cry echoed through the night. The fairies rushed toward it. Blood flowed from its hoof. "It seems something sharp is stuck inside," said the royal stable guardian, a powerful djinn who served the fairy queen. The djinn paused. He sniffed the air. Human scent.
In an instant, he captured Shabo and brought him before the Fairy Queen. Shabo did not tremble. He had done nothing wrong. The hoof was examined carefully. What they found was no thorn. It was a large, sharp piece of broken wood. Shabo gasped, "My stick!" The fairies glared at him. "Did you dare to harm the queen's horse?" the guardian djinn demanded. Shabo stood firm. "My stick was whole yesterday. It was stolen. I have just found it here, broken." There was no fear in his voice, only truth. The Fairy Queen saw it. She ordered an investigation. The guardian djinn went human form and went to the village. There the truth unfolded. Sino had stolen the stick. Sino had broken it. Sino had buried it. He had done all to ruin Shabo. The djinn returned, dragging Sino before the queen. Sino fell at her feet and confessed everything. The Fairy Queen's eyes flashed with justice. "For your jealousy, your cruelty, and your lies, you will be imprisoned in fairyland." And so it was done. Then she turned to Shabo with kindness. "Your stick is broken, but your honesty is unbreakable." She gave him a new stick, more beautiful than the four, more powerful than ever. This stick could turn silver into gold, and it held another power. If anyone ever tried to steal it, they would instantly turn into stone. Only Shabo could restore them. When Bin Kalaf learned the truth, shame filled his heart. He apologized to Shabo. He made him supervisor of all his animals, goats and sheep alike. He gave him a fine house to live in. And from that day forward, Shabo no longer walked with lowered head. He walked with honor, with dignity, with justice on his side. Because in the end, jealousy destroys itself, and truth always finds its light.